Alright, quickly look at laser spot track. First thing is we're going to deconflict our laser code. So we're going to turn on both the LTDR and the laser spot track switches here. This LTDR is our onboard laser. The laser spot track is what we're going to use to find the laser. So both of those on, then go to our FLIR page, and we're going to get UFC. Then we have these options here to set the laser codes. LTDC for laser designator, that code is by default 1688. I'm going to change that to 1655 just to deconflict it, okay? Laser spot track, that's the code we're going to be looking for. I'll change that to 1665 to deconflict. So now we can see laser spot track is 1665. Our laser designator code is 1655, so those are deconflicted. Having that done, we can now turn off LTDR because we're not using any onboard lasing today. We're only using the offboard laser. So I have been talking to the JTAC, and I happen to know that he's actually on 1688. So I'll switch back to that 1688, enter, and now we can see right here the laser spot track is going to look for laser code 1688. It looks on the confines of your HUD. So you essentially put the target area inside your HUD, point the nose of your jet at the target area where you know they're lasing, and once we're pointed at that, we're going to, you can do it one of two ways. You can click this OSB right here, it will box laser spot track and it'll start looking. The other way to do it is if you have cage on cage button bound somewhere, you can use that for hands and throttle. So I am just bringing the target area around off my nose. It's somewhere out here, and I'm going to click box LST. That's going to start searching now for a laser. Oh, I need to tell him to turn it on.
Colt 1-1.
It's going to start searching for a laser with that code.
Laser on.
He's now lasing, and I just got to find the target area here. A little bit south. If you watch your screen there, there it goes, boom. It instantly gave a bunch of information and then updated. So down on the screen now, we can zoom in a little bit, and it's locked onto his laser. Now I have the FLIR pod soy, so what I can do now is just push TDC to press, and that's created a target point there. Now you can attack that target point any way you want. In this case, he actually asked for a Maverick, so I'll just bring up the Maverick. I'm going to make sure you have the code set to his code, 1688. That is set, and we can prosecute an attack.
Colt,
just have to tell him I see his laser, and then get permission to fire.
Colt 1-1 in from the northwest. Colt 1-1.
Really close.
Cleared hot.
Okay, there's our clearance.
Altitude.
That's the way. It's an offboard laser. We don't have to worry about our laser staying on target or anything. You can turn cold immediately. He'll keep the laser lit until the impact, and then he'll give a BDA. Now, I'm working with a JTAC because I didn't have a friend on the server. We're going to be buddy lasing today. There's the hit. So, buddy lasing is essentially, we're just going to talk to each other in the cockpit. Hey man, light your laser. Okay, laser's lit. Okay, on what code? Cool. Here's my laser spot, etc., etc. That's how we're going to handle it today. Alright, we'll just demonstrate a re-attack here. I've got his laser on now, so I'm going to turn my laser spot track back on and get the target area out in front. Oops. Down here in the trees. Okay, I've got the target already. So this time we'll go with bombs. Make sure the E-fuse is sent to instant. Make sure the code is set to what he's lasing, which is 1688. Enter. Mode auto. That is set up. And then this just becomes a bomb run. Just double check the target there. Yep, that looks good. Bomb will come down the line right there. Oh, he's going to be pissed because I forgot to get permission to fire, but anyway, pickle. And again, we don't care now because we're not lasing. We can literally go inverted. So our pod wouldn't even be looking at it because it's following his laze. So. Oh, that hurts my neck.
left.
There we go. Good hit. All right, now let's take a look at lasing for a friend. So I'm going to turn my laser spot track off. Come down here and turn LST off. Turn my LTDR on. So now I'm using my onboard laser, and we need to find a target to laze for our buddy. So I'm going to go ahead and make my helmet mounted sight soy. Create a target point there, and then spin around just so my targeting pod can get it. There we go, targeting pod is on it, and we'll take that guy right there. Cool. Now I've got a target there. I'm going to pass that target to my buddy. So UFC, I've set my LTDR code to 1677. That's the code that I'm broadcasting on. So I'm going to tell my buddy, hey Caliber, I'm broadcasting on 1677. Caliber's going to fly towards the target area and say, okay, I've got the target area in my HUD. Light your laser. At that point, I'm going to light the laser. A couple considerations for that. If I look at my aircraft here, my T-pod is on my left cheek. So I'm going to put myself in a nice, lazy left-hand orbit high above the target area, about like this, to keep that target area, give it the best unobstructed view from the T-pod as possible. But we've got to keep an account. Look at this big cloud right there. That's going to obscure a large portion of my orbit, and I've got to be cognizant of that and then communicate that to my wingman. Okay, Caliber, I'm about 30 seconds away from obscure, and then, okay, Caliber, I'm blind, and then when I'm going to come out of it, I'll tell him, okay, Caliber, I'm good. So the other thing to think about is let's get ourselves in an orbit. We use the powerful autopilot in here for that. So autopilot, I'm going to use a barometric hold to hold us here at 25,000. I'm going to use automatic throttle to hold the speed, and then I'm going to use attitude hold in this pretty aggressive bank here. Boop. So now I've got attitude hold, barometric altitude, and the throttle control to hold me in this bank. I'm going to kind of, if you watch my cursor, go lazily around this thing. That's going to maximize the sensor's time on that. So now that we've got the target area there, I've got Caliber or whomever coming in. The way that we, as you can see now, we're getting into that obscured thing. So I would probably say, hey Caliber, I'm blind. I'll have eyes back on in 20 seconds. At any rate, when we're ready to fire the laser, when Caliber is coming in and he says, okay, I've got the target area out there, turn your laser on, all we have to do is box trig right there, okay? And when we're ready to fire the laser, we'll hold our trigger down, and we have to continue to hold it down the whole time. While we hold the trigger down, the laser will be firing. When you let go of the trigger, the laser will no longer fire. So we can hold the trigger down long enough for Caliber to get his sensors on target, and then we can stop holding it, because it is kind of difficult to hold the trigger and continue to fly. Then when Caliber runs in to make his weapons attack, we can reignite our laser when the weapons are hot or in the air, etc. You want the laser lit for like the final terminal, probably 20 seconds of a bomb fall, but more is better. 30, 45 seconds is better. And you want it lit for a good portion of the final 60 seconds of a Maverick flight. So we're just about where we're going to be able to have eyes on again. As you can see, we're coming around this cloud. I'm just watching my flare for it to be unobscured anytime now. And again, I haven't touched any flight controls. I've got attitude hold, barometric hold. We're totally hands off here. So I've got, this is interesting actually. The problem here now is my wing is too low. The bank angle is a little too steep. So I'm actually going to minimize that bank angle a little bit, put the attitude back on, and you can see that's now come in. So I've got trigger box, I've got my target chosen, Caliber's in range. Now I'm holding the trigger button. You can see there the brackets are flashing and LTDR is flashing. That means the laser is firing. So our laser is firing on that target for our buddy. I'm going to go ahead and hold that down until Caliber has eyes on it. What we don't want him to do is then lock it up with his own laser. The whole practice here today is to use offboard lasers. So here I've let go of the trigger. I've still got it locked up. Trigger's still boxed. I push the trigger again, and the laser is lighting again. I let go, push it, I let go, I push it, etc. So again, we're going to light the laser long enough for Caliper to assure that he's got target, and then when his weapon is away, depending on the flight time, we can take a break and then turn the laser back on in the terminal final phase. And that is about it.